Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Bluford's Tax Preparation, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Casa Samtonieta Indialapa, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, John Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Montzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Can I just say that I'm absolutely in? No, well, wait a second. I should start by saying good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together, live here on YouTube, live here on Facebook, live here in my living room, here at Casa Chaos in Colonia La Vena, not far from Versalles. I always say Colonia La Vena is not far from Versalles because I don't think you would know where Colonia La Vena is unless you live nearby. But I digress. I'm going to once again start by saying I am in love with Jamie Lee Curtis. I am. I really am. I think she is gorgeous. Like, I think Anne Bancroft is gorgeous, and Christine Baranski is gorgeous, and Gwyneth Paltrow's mom, Blythe, Blythe? Yes, Blythe Tanner is gorgeous. I love these women. What's wrong with me? I'm a gay boy. Anyhow, why am I talking about Jamie Lee Curtis? Well, because here I am sitting in front of the desk, putting together the broadcast, and of course, while I'm typing and setting up the graphics and this, that, and the other, I take a quick peek to see what YouTube is going to serve me to watch later on. And I saw that Jamie Lee Curtis was on Colbert last night. And I've been watching the clips from Colbert ever since he announced that he was being ended. And I just think she's an awesome lady. And I think YouTube is awesome. And that's all I have to say for myself. Now, back to the show. I hope everybody is doing great. I have all kinds of news, including a crash course on water pipes that you didn't know you needed. Some interesting email that I received from one of you, and a bunch of announcements of what I have up my sleeve for the rest of the summer. It's like all my presentations are scheduled all the way till the end of September. So I'm going to remind you of what that is all about. And then, of course, as usual, I'm going to look at your wonderful comments, which I enjoy very much. Let's dive into the news with the usual announcement. If you have something interesting to say, please add a capital letter Q to your comment and a capital letter N if you're watching live for the first time. Now, here's a crash course you didn't know you needed from our lovely friends in SEAPAL. According to SEAPAL, Puerto Vallarta currently has more than 4,000 kilometers of pipelines that carry drinking water and collect wastewater from the municipality, more than half of which are over 30 years old and show advanced wear, a situation that has multiplied the challenges SEAPAL Vallarta faces in maintaining water supply continuity. Who knew? Of this total, 2,969 kilometers correspond to the drinking water network, while 1,943 kilometers comprise the sanitary sewer system. This combined length is equivalent to traveling from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara at least 21 times along the new short route. And SEAPAL explains that over time, these pipes tend to break more frequently, particularly during the rain season when the soil becomes more unstable, requiring emergency repairs that can cause temporary interruptions in the water supply in one or more neighborhoods. So, call it an excuse, call it transparency. I'm happy to have this information at my disposal. And I can appreciate the challenges that they have. So there you have it. I thought I would share these facts with you this morning. Now, here's something interesting because in an interview, our mayor, Luis Munguía, spoke about his good relationship with our governor, Pablo Lemus, which has allowed Mayor Munguia to achieve important projects for our city. And indeed, we see constant notifications and news items about things that are being repaired or improved or inaugurated. But then one has to wonder why there are headlines like this, which have to do with the fact that there is no budget available to maintain the new Tukilandia parks for children, what that have been inaugurated recently, and all of Puerto Vallarta's green areas. So again, if they're going to open these things, you'd think that the city would have the foresight to not open them unless they have a guarantee that they will be maintained properly. In a similar vein, Puerto Vallarta has announced a new recycling program aimed at promoting proper waste separation and reducing the volume of garbage in the city. Now, this sounds great in paper. This will operate Monday through Saturday. And this particular program collects glass, aluminum, and cardboard and plastic from homes across local neighborhoods. So it sounds great in paper, but this is done in conjunction with Red Ambiental, the same company that does not quite have a handle on trash collection as it is. This is from an article published in English by Banderas News. So the article does feature a pickup schedule for recycled trash for the colonias that will receive the service at this stage. This is not going to happen through the entire city, just a few lucky colonias. But again, hopefully, before they start doing the recycling program, you'd think that the city would want to make sure that we have a well oiled garbage collection program to begin with. But why do I know? I'm just the guy behind the microphone. And with that said, let's take a look at the weather. And let's see what Snarky Weatherman is up to this morning. Rain stopping in 6 minutes. Lazy freaking rain gods. That's what Snarky Weather says today. It is 30 degrees out there. Humidity is at 72%. And our weather forecast, according to Snarky Weatherman, says we're going to have light rain with scattered thunderstorms, a high of 32 and a low of 25, a 61% chance of rain. So I think I'm bringing an umbrella to my spotlight interviews. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 58%, a high of 31, a low of 24. And then on Friday, scattered thunderstorms will be possible throughout the day with a chance of rain of 81%, a high of 33, and a low of 25. Yes. And now, oh, yes, this is very important. Let me put my screens in order because I have to do some reading. Occasionally, I get really awesome email questions from you guys, and I received this one, which I want to bring to your attention. This one came from Aaron, who says, "Hey, Paco, reflecting on your story several weeks ago regarding gentrification and protests in Mexico City. My husband and I are planning a move to Puerto Vallarta in October. It pains me to think that I could be part of a problem versus having a positive impact in my new home. I sure would be interested in your perspectives regarding how to be a responsible immigrant to Mexico, if this is even possible. You suggested that you may be willing to discuss this and your perspectives if there was more interest. I, for one, would be very interested in learning more. So this came from Aaron. Of course, I have a lot to say on the topic. The question is, do you want to hear about it? Do you want to hear about what it looks like from the perspective of a Mexican national and a proud one to live in a city where gentrification is increasing? And let me clarify. Gentrification comes from the outside, but it also comes from within. Gentrification is not exclusively the responsibility of people that come here from other countries. But my question to you is, do you want to hear about it in Coffee and Headlines? If you do, just write the word Paco by itself. And I will be so very happy to give you my honest, slightly snarky, but productive opinion on what to do. Regardless, I did reach out to Aaron and I wrote to him back privately. And what I said to him is, thank you for reaching out. This is an important issue, and I'm happy to dive in. Do us both a favor and give me a clearer picture. I asked, why are you moving here? Will you be retiring, as in you are independently wealthy, or will you be working remotely or opening a business? Number three, where are you moving from? And number four, what's your previous experience with Puerto Vallarta? Based on what Aaron tells me, and based on what you tell me in terms of feedback, if you want to hear this here at Coffee and Headlines, I'll be happy to go there either in the show or privately. Now, moving right along, I have awesome things that are coming up. Hold on. First of all, the El Salado Estuary, which we just learned had an anniversary, is preparing to reactivate its guided boat tours after they were suspended more than 2 years ago. Apparently, this was due to a lack of permits from the Port Authority. Who knew? But Paola Bausch Peterson, who's the head of the Jalisco Ministry of Environment and Territorial Development, has announced this. She's also inviting the public to visit this space even before the water tours reopen. Currently, she said, the site has wider land trails than the previous tours, as well as an active environmental education program. I, for myself, I'm waiting for the boat tours to actually reopen because I think those are truly, truly awesome. And this absolutely unique art exhibition caught my attention. First of all, Gyotaku is the Japanese art of fish printing. You may or may not know this, but it involves creating an inked impression of a fish on a paper. This technique originated with Japanese fishermen and it allowed them to document their catches, showcasing the size and type of fish. But today, Gyotaku is both a historical record-keeping method and also one of artistic expression. I don't think we've ever seen fish prints in Puerto Vallarta, not that I'm aware of, but apparently there's going to be this amazing exhibition at Bonito Kitchen in Los Tules. It opens on Friday, August 8th at 4 p.m. So the premise is you catch the fish, you print the fish, and you eat the fish. Well, that's not the premise of the exhibition. Obviously, we are going to be looking at prints that are already made, but I think this is absolutely fascinating. I don't think I've ever seen such an exhibition in Puerto Vallarta before. So I'm happy to suggest that you mark this on your calendars if you'd like. Again, Friday, August 8th, starting at 4 p.m. What a great excuse to stay for dinner. I think that's what I'm going to do. And in case you're going to travel to Guadalajara anytime soon, the very iconic Minerva Roundabout or Rotary is one of Guadalajara's most iconic landmarks, and it is one of the places, public places, that is going to be renovated as part of the rehabilitation project promoted by our capital city through the Ministry of Infrastructure and Public Works in preparation for the World Cup next year. The good news is not only that the Minerva rotary is going to be improved, but also traffic will not be affected. And that is really good news because that area tends to get really trafficy as it is. That is, of course, of importance if you're traveling to Guadalajara. If you're traveling to Mexico City, you will be happy to know that the Sumaya Museum at Plaza Carso in Mexico City has been recognized as one of the three most influential museums in the world in the Museum Week 2025 global ranking. The recognition was granted during the most recent edition of Museum Week, a festival that has celebrated the role of cultural institutions on social media for 11 years. And it does look like that. It looks like an alien spaceship. It's beautiful outside and it's beautiful inside. And not only will I leave you with the link of this news note, which came from Excelsior, but I also leave you with a link to the museum in case you wish to find out more about it. Last in our Mexico City news, well, karma is a bitch, and so is Lady Racista, the Argentinian lady that came to our attention just a few days ago because of the colorful metaphors and racist metaphors that she directed at a public servant when she was unable to move her car because it had been prevented from moving because she parked it in the wrong place. So I spared you the process between that and sentence. She had to go to court. On the process of going to court, she was pummeled with insults and things that people threw at her. Not a good life for a bitch. And among the measures imposed by the judge are the obligation to appear and sign at the courthouse for 6 months, as well as to avoid the scene of the incident. She has to perform community service and undergo psychological treatment, in addition to attending sessions with the National Commission for the Prevention of Discrimination. And last but not least, she has to pay 97,000 pesos in damages. And the poor thing is asking for tiny little installments. Well, that's what you get for behaving the way you did. Before we start with your comments, I want to thank you so much for the wonderful comments you sent me about the word we learned yesterday. Yesterday, we learned the word convivir, one of my favorite words in Spanish. I've already identified an equally wholesome word that I would like to share with you next week. So I'm going to start working on that. Of course, I am presently working on House Rules, my presentation on house music, which is going to be dancey and funky and fun, August 7 at 5 o'clock. Then we're going to have our exploration of the music of Pat Metheny on August 21st. Then we continue in September with my very well attended for the last couple of years presentation on Mexican independence. We explore the music, stories, culture, and legacy of Mexican independence. It is a cultural crash course on why we celebrate September 15 and September 16, not Cinco de Mayo. That's a different adventure. This is a very popular presentation, and I'm sure that it's going to be a lot of fun. This is on Thursday, September 11. All of these happen at the Joint, as you know. And you guys laughed so much at the dated music videos that I presented in my recent Motown presentation. That gave me the green light to share with you my curated collection of some really crazy television musical numbers that are so dated we can't help but to laugh with them. Needless to say, I'm selecting some funny clips, but I'm also selecting great stories behind the performers. And this is appropriately named Just for Laughs. It'll happen on September 25th, right in the middle of the time in which there's no tourism, nobody's doing anything, there's nothing to do. It's hot, it's rainy, it's muggy, we're miserable. So we might as well get together and laugh for the sake of it. And yes, I'm charging for the privilege. Why not? And last but not least, um, before we jump over to the chit chat section, I want to thank you so much for paying attention to this. I went and looked at the stats on the website for Feel Good Vallarta, this new kind of health event that I'm co-organizing in town with my friend Stan of Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback. This is not until October 11th, but it takes this long. It takes this long to put together a well put together event, and we're excited about it. At this point, all I'm asking you to do is go check out the website, go sign up on the mailing list. I promise I won't spam you. We'll simply update you when we add content to the website. What is next? Well, we're putting together the registration form for exhibitors and speakers. And then, of course, we're also at the same time putting together the website that will have information for the public to attend this free event. It's free for you to attend. There will be a fee to register because that allows us to cover the expenses of renting the space at the Joint Boutique Hotel. So my summer is full. I have a lot of work, and that makes me very, very happy. And with that said, let us take a quick look at your comments. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. Ay, 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 many happy Wednesdays. Oh, no, that was me. Hi, good morning to all that said good morning. Thank you so much. You are watching from all over the place. Tim, I think I'm having dinner with your brother, or at least I'm stopping by. As you know, Michael graciously agreed to sponsor a 2-night stay in Yelapa for me to produce not music videos, to produce walking tour videos and to produce a great tour of Alexis Velasco's wonderful casas in Yelapa that he has available through Airbnb, although you get a better deal if you talk to him directly. Anyhow, the proceeds from renting these casas helps our dear friend Alexis to have spending money for his 2-year program in La Sorbonne in Paris, where he's going to be studying cultural tourism. I am so happy to support him by making him a community partner for free, and I am so happy about this. Anyhow, I'm stopping by, Tim, to visit with your brother because he is giving me the money to pay for the stay. So thank you very much, Michael, for supporting this adventure. Needless to say, the videos will show your sponsorship in gratitude. Laura says, by the way, there is a garbage pickup schedule. I will try and send. Thank you very much. I know that in my neighborhood, they pick up on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Mondays, usually first thing in the morning, but I don't think they have picked up this morning just yet. Here's a cue. Mexico Post does deliver. I mailed a package from Minneapolis May 29th, and it arrived in Mexico City on June 2nd, but it finally arrived yesterday. There you have it. That is wonderful news. Uh-oh. Hello, Logan. I don't know if you're still in Disneyland, but it was great to hear from you this morning and yesterday night. Logan says, wait, the Green Party doesn't have a budget to maintain their green spaces. Am I following this right? Unfortunately, my honeymoon phase with the mayor has come to an end, but he's still nice to look at. I love that comment. Well, you know, Mayor Munguía looks great in paper, but no governor, no mayor is perfect. There's always cracks in the system, but this is a blatant crack that happens all over and over again. And now they want to put a funicular in the middle of the city? I don't think so, but we'll have to wait and see. Barbara says the idea of recycling is excellent. Let's hope it's successful. I stand to with my opinion. Hopefully, before they introduce recycling, garbage recycling in Vallarta, they will fine tune and improve what we have as it is. Um, ooh, I see a number of Pacos. Okay, we will talk about how to be a responsible immigrant. Probably on Friday because I have other plans for tomorrow. Let's see. Laura says, in regards to new visa, I read up and seems Canada visitors don't require one. Thoughts, everyone? Well, if anybody has specific answers, I think that would be great. But at the end of the day, Laura, it has less to do with our thoughts and it has to do with the law. So my suggestion to you would be to give a ringy-dingy to the Mexican consulate in your city and see what they have to say because they are the authority or should be the authority in this matter. Jerome says, Paco. Oh, duh. That's part of the P. Never mind that it has a Q. Oh, look at all those Pacos. Okay, we will talk about immigrants. Yes. We will talk about immigrants. Okay, being that gentrification is a hot topic currently, I am interested in any opinions of commentary on this subject. Happy to deliver. Barbara says a tour of the estuary is on my list for this year. Well, it's been a list on my list. I mean, it's been an item on my list for some time. I really want to go and tour it again. Oh, yes, my bad. It still says 2026, but I have updated it everywhere else. I forgot to update the graphic. Thank you very much for noticing that, Sean. And of course, that refers to this little number. For the record, I do think it's the only place where it is inaccurate. Logan says the mothers of all dated and kitschy music videos is Video Killed the Radio Star. And of course, Whip It. Ooh, I have to look at those too because I don't remember them. But I tell you, I've been getting some amazing nuggets from the Ed Sullivan Show. Oh my gosh, what were they thinking? Let's see what else. I know that John and Pamela are leaving. By the way, Pamela's interview with me about Substack is already available on its own on YouTube, along with the one that we did with Paul. And today I'm recording wonderful interviews with a couple of people. We're hearing from Anne-Marie from Vallarta Abuelos and what they're up to lately and what they need our help with. And I am hearing from Selena Luna that is producing a Motown-inspired show. She attended my presentation, so I told her, come to the spotlight and let us know what you're about. This is a show that will happen at the beginning of this coming month at Act 2 PV. So I'll record the details today and we'll share those interviews with you in the near future. John is volunteering Safe Dance by Men Without Hats. I'll take a look at that one as well. Maybe it's something that we can feature in our presentation. And this brings us to the end of today. Thank you so much for your comments and your suggestions. It is a pleasure to connect with you every single day. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for more coffee, more headlines, and more stories. Have a great day.